Hey, it's Meanwhile in Broomtown again. I wanted to show you how I put together this. It's a hydroponics deal. We grow a lot of lettuce, and we like to grow our own lettuce. And sometimes lettuce is hard outside, like in a box or the ground, or just in dirt. It's lettuce is really easy to grow hydroponically. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know why, but I've been doing it for a long time, and it works really good. So we're gonna set it up, and I don't know if we'll get to the part where we get it planted, but we'll at least get it set up. That's all. I bought this little kit off of Amazon, I think. It's probably made in China, but it's pretty handy, and all the parts are there, and it's kind of self-contained. And that's my reservoir, the big tub for the media, water, whatever you want to call it, liquid. And I've had it for for a long time. And it didn't come with a set. All that come with a set are the tubes and the piping. But I'll show you how we set them up and kind of why we do some of the things that we do. All right, it's pretty simple. It's literally just PVC fittings. These are pretty simple. You could easily build this. Just go to the hardware store and buy PVC fittings. You don't have to glue them because none of this is going to be pressurized. It's kind of all gravity fed. The only really specialized parts to this thing that I could find are these ends. These have been on a while, so it may be hard, but anyway, that's the end, and I assume it's some kind of reducer. I'm not a plumber. I don't know what that's called, but it goes from this size pipe to that size pipe. And then these little baskets. We learned the hard way that algae is probably the worst enemy to hydroponics. So when I first did these, when I first ran it, it came with these little baskets, and that's what holds your plant, a piece of rock wool or sponge, or I'll show you how we do it. But it comes with these, and because I don't plant every hole, sometimes I'll leave a space, especially when lettuce gets big. It takes up a lot of room. So I started doing every other hole, and the algae started growing because the sun would go down. So the easy fix that I found for that is just aluminum foil. The light won't go through the aluminum foil, so that's good and it's cheap. But that's what these are made up of. And that's a cup without a tin foil lid. It goes there, and this is one, obviously like that. So I put them all on there to start, and then when I get ready to plant, I've got enough of these baskets that I don't have to sit here and take this tin foil off. I just swap them out. So we'll get these together. I'll do 4. There's enough of these tubes to do 3 rows of 4, but quite frankly, that's more lettuce than what we can eat. So I usually do just 4 on the top row and 4 on the bottom row. Just kind of lay them out like that. Find the piece that goes, that separates them, and I just push them on. Like I said, there's no glue. There's no it's just force, just enough to push in there. And I haven't yet done this when I didn't have to come back and push one tighter because it leaked. See, it's just a piece of pipe. There, this is about as easy as it comes. And the lettuce is amazing. It does a really good job of making, and it's quick. It's easy to put it together. And that's it. I'll take and do that whole same thing again, put it on the bottom, and then I'll show you how I hook the top from the bottom. It's not much to it. Okay, I got the bottom, well, what's the top? I moved into the bottom, and I got 4 more to do on the top. And again, it's just easy. The only real specialized part for this is that piece. And we'll put it on, let's find where it's got a blank. We'll put it, that's kind of like where it starts. Hook a hose, just like a real thick an aquarium hose onto there, and then it'll go down to the pump. So that's when the pump cuts on, that's where it'll start, and then the water will flow all the way through, and then I'll put a big pipe here. It goes down to the one at the bottom, so the water will go down, do those 4, and then back in the reservoir, and it just recycles over and over. Like I said, that's really all there is to it. It's easy, and it's interesting to be able to grow plants like that from with no soil. I don't know when I got interested in the first hydroponic system that I was ever around was, believe it or not, when I was in high school, I graduated from high school in '81, so you can see how many thousands of years ago that was. But the school that I went to, had a lot of stuff, had all the academic, that kind of deal, but it also had more of a, I don't know what they call it, industrial deal. They had all kind of different things, but one of them was agriculture. And we had a hydroponics greenhouse in 79, 80, and 81 that they grew tomatoes in. And it was a big greenhouse. That greenhouse was probably that greenhouse was probably 80 feet by 400 feet. And it had 4 big main troughs. It was a concrete floor. And then in that concrete floor was 4 rows. It was a cut into it. So at night they would flood the greenhouse floor, and then everything was sloped. It would run into the grooves, their big grooves, 2 foot wide by 8 foot deep. But all the water would run back in there and run all the way to the back of the greenhouse in a holding tank just like this, and it'd cycle every day. And we grew tomatoes mainly, and other things, and it was good. I never thought I'd go into agriculture, and I didn't. But I learned about how stuff like that worked, and I guess economy of scales. I don't know, it was pretty neat. I thought it was pretty thought-provoking. I don't know if that's the right word, but it was, I didn't know of any other schools that had that. And like I said, I got interested in it. It's not what I did for a living, nothing like that, but it was a good education. Taught me a lot of stuff. And then fast forward a lot of years later, we were at Disney, and Disney has a big greenhouse that they take you through, and it's hydroponics. I mean, massive hydroponics. They have, well, you can go online and look it up. They have a lot of stuff. And then you store those things in your mind, and fast forward ever how many years later, and we're here in Brimtown, and I thought, well, that might be neat to, to figure out how to grow things hydroponically here. It leads itself for a lot of things. If you will, it's self-watering. I don't have to be here. I usually am, but I don't have to be here, every day. Fill the reservoir up and this thing will cook for a week, without running out of water, which is nice if you want to go somewhere. It's hard to do that with an outdoor garden. So I guess I saw it when I was a kid and liked it, and I wanted to do it again. It's a hobby. It's fun. It's a lot of stuff. It's neat, and this little system's perfect. Like I said, originally this was designed for 3 rows. I just went to the hardware store and bought me another piece of PVC so I could go from one row to the other. So that's basically the setup. And I'll do some more showing you how I plan it and probably filling it up and getting the pump. But basically, that's my hydroponic set that I use to grow romaine lettuce. Anyway, I'm just gonna clean it out. I probably didn't rinse it out the last time I used it. To keep it running. And then sometimes when we'll leave to go visit our son or something, we'll take it down. It's not hard, it's just a deal of a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be, scrubbed. It, imagine it's like the soil. It's not, it doesn't have to be sterile is the right word I was looking for. Just clean. Okay, this is the little pump. It's not much. I mean, it's, when I tell you it's little, it's little. That goes in the tank. Then this hose comes up and goes into the fitting on the bottom of the I call those tubes. I don't know what the proper name is. And then on this other end, the electrical end, let's plug this here real quick so I don't have to keep reaching for it. This goes, like I said, there's no glue, there's no junk, there's just kind of just gravity force. But on the other end of it, it's on the plug-in end. Obviously that goes into the outlet. The pump plugs into this like that. And then this thing has got, it's got a neat little timer on it. I'm not good with this camera, but it's programmable. And it's 2 stages. It runs the pump and then it doesn't run the pump. And the reason you want to do that is, I guess I'd call this like maybe an ebb and flow. When the pump's on, it pumps water up and it starts running them through the tubes. Well, it does that for 5 minutes and then it cuts off. But then it's got to tell it, I want to do that again sometime. So the second timer cuts it on in 15-minute increments. So it runs for 5 minutes and then it goes off for 15 minutes. And then it comes on and runs for 5 minutes and then it goes off for over and over and over. It just cycles. It's kind of neat. The old ways to do this, when I've had them before, you have those old style timers. I might even have one that I use for lights. Like this. They're big and they're bulky and had to do them in 2 stages. You had to fix where you click them on. That's nice. It does it for you. And it came with it. Like I said, this was an Amazon major purchase, and it came with all the stuff. It came with the motor. It came with a deal. The only really thing that I added was it's an aquarium pump, an air pump, and I put it in with an air stone in the bottom of the reservoir to keep the mix oxygenated. That's literally all the mechanics to it. It's ebb and flows, and that it agitates it. So when you pour nutrients and things, you know, it mixes it for you. And it's kind of always was. You know, sometimes you sit back and you think you don't know where the seeds first plant, and we're going to use seeds, but I would have never been interested in any of this kind of stuff. You know, had it not been for Reese at the high school, and you know, he took time to teach, you know, dumb kids like me from 78 and 9 and 80 how to do things that I would have never ever imagined doing. And here I am, 60 something, and obviously it's not the same, it's not scale, but you know, you still have that interest and you still do that deal. So thanks, Reese, I appreciate it. It's been fun. All right, I think I got about everything hooked up. I don't know if you can see. I put the pump in the reservoir, and I ran the tube that starts the cycle through the hole, and then the fitting down here that ends the cycle goes back in the reservoir. That way it cycles all the way around. And then I will take, plug this in, that's your motor. I won't do that until I fill it full of water. And the only thing I got left to do is to put the air pump in. So let me go for a minute, and I will go get the water, and we'll start filling it up and finding where all the places are that it leaks, because it does every time. When I put it together, I have to tighten them or, you know, twist them a little bit to get them to where they don't leak. But I'll be right back. All right, I got water. I'm gonna fill this reservoir. Sometimes I cheat, because ultimately you gotta fill these pipes too. I'll fill the tank. One thing that's nice about working in the greenhouse, if I accidentally spray something, who cares? It's a concrete floor. I know the motor will do this, but sometimes I go ahead and fill the tubes or get them started, and I start hunting for leaks while the reservoir is filling up. Anyway, that's it. I'll come back to you when I get finished filling this up. All right, I'm hooked up. I got all that plugged in. The pump is cycling, so it works. That's good. And I'll let it run for a little while before we start mixing chemicals and fertilizer, mainly to look for leaks. So let it cycle. The oxygen pump, the aquarium pump, pumping oxygen. So I think we're good. And I don't really see any, there's not any major leaks. There'll be a drip. There's always a drip. But that's all for now. We're going to let it sit and let it run for a little while. When I mean a little while, a couple of hours. Just let it cycle back and forth, make sure all of that's working. I do that on purpose because the chemicals, the nutrition, the nutrients are they're expensive. So I don't want to start all that and fill it up and get all the pH and all that stuff right until I know I don't have any leaks, because I may go inside and come back and, you know, a gallon of water has leaked out, and I don't want it to be a gallon of my nutrients. So we're gonna let everything sit and run, and we'll come back with another video showing you how I get the nutrients and the pH and all that kind of stuff right. And then maybe eventually we'll actually get to where we get to plant some lettuce. That's all I got right now. Thanks.